So, as promised in my previous post, let's start with the group of the so-called visible demands. Demand number 1, your workload. You are burned out because you have worked a lot and you have cared a lot. One does not get burned out when one does not care. You might also feel that your work conditions may contribute to great stress, if you feel that they don't let you work with the quality that you want to offer. On the other hand, you might feel that you have the greatest job ever, but, because you love your work so much, you have pushed yourself too hard and have overworked. Independently of your job situation, if you are in a burnout, you will need to diminish radically on your workload. Most of the times you will need to be away from your workplace for a while. Not because you are weak, but because you are not well and need to be treated. And part of that treatment is to rest and to not have to force your brain to focus, to reason, to try find solutions, to structure new plans. You might find that a simple conversation with a colleague can be felt as very tiresome because it forces you to focus on what the other person is saying and forces your brain to structure an answer, a solution. Your brain is tired. It needs to rest. The patients I've had with the most positive results have been the ones that accepted to be home for a while whilst under an intensive and regular follow-up of the health professionals involved in their treatment process. Please talk to your doctor and see how you can get the support you need in order to, during some time, drastically diminish or abolish the demands linked to the execution of your profession, linked to your work. The goal of this is not to just be home looking at the walls, feeling like a failure. The goal is to follow a structured plan with one or more health professionals, a plan that will help you through this important journey. It is important that your health professionals are in the journey with you. We, as health professionals, cannot make a diagnosis of burnout, give you a ridiculously short sick leave, not book you a follow-up appointment, and expect you to be fit for fight after that ridiculously short time you supposedly had to recharge. Your employer should also support you in this journey out of a burnout. If your employer has capable leadership qualities, they will know that they should take their share of the responsibility for your burnout. They will understand how their support will also positively impact the company, and they will be in this journey with you all the way. Demand number 2, home demands. Of course, if you are a mother or a father, that should be the number 1 mission in your life, and when you have dependents in your care, you cannot just put aside that type of demand. On the other hand, if you don't take care of yourself in an urgent manner, your healing process might take longer, and that will not have a positive effect on those dependent on you. So, there is a very important action that you might be able to do, and that is to delegate. Sometimes we are so used to take all of the responsibility that we forget that we live with someone else that can also help out, or that our kids might already have reached the age to help with the house chores. We might be mothers or fathers that work mostly from home and, because of that, we have always taken upon ourselves the whole of the responsibility of the domestic chores. Well, you need to now delegate to your spouse, to the ones living with you, because you need to take that demand, all that extra responsibility that might be weighing on you, away from your hands and during some time. You might not see how you can diminish that type of demand in your own situation, but give it a try, and just think about how you could get help in your own reality. Sit with the ones near to you and talk about it. I often sit with my patients' family, in order to help find a way. Remember that your whole being is now the one demanding of you, demanding that you make space for yourself in your life. This will not only be important to your healing, but will teach you the importance of living, the importance of not merely surviving in this life of ours. And if you find yourself home with a sick leave, remember, you are home to be treated. You have to focus on doing things that give you joy, that give you energy. You are not home to do all those chores you didn't have time to do while at work. You are not home to be the one responsible for most of the home chores. You are home to get energy back, and an important part of the treatment is to delegate responsibility. All situations are unique, and I cannot stress enough the need to have responsible and dedicated health professionals to help you in your own journey. I have seen situations where both parents were burned out, and we had to find a way to support those families in the best way possible. as to minimize the possible negative effects of the situation on their children. And it was possible. Demand number 3, physical demands of our body. You might have reached menopause, or your body might need extra attention in some other ways. You might have some lack of vitamins, some hormonal imbalance, etc. It is important to seek medical attention and rule out causes that can be affecting you at the moment. You need to support yourself in every way possible. Now going on to examples of invisible demands that you might need to deal with. You might be used to always demand too much of yourself, be it due to personality traits, be it due to a need to feel in control, or even due to a not so good self-esteem. A poor self-esteem might lead to a greater need to have others appreciate you, and thus a greater difficulty in saying no to people that keep requiring of you. It is time you open yourself to change. Professional help, such as the case of a good psychologist, can help you put in place all those sources of demand that you have always carried around with you, all your life. You need to stop carrying those unnecessary burdens, start seeing yourself for whom you really are, start valuing yourself. You need to stop demanding so much of yourself, and you need to decide to respect yourself instead. By deciding to respect yourself in a new way, you will gain a greater grasp of reality about what you can say yes to and what you should say no to. Because at the end of the day, my friend, you are a human being and not a machine. Another example of demands we might unconsciously impose on ourselves are deadlines. You need to stop working with deadlines for a while, and that includes deadlines that you give yourself to get better, or even deadlines to come out of burnout. You need to focus on the goal of feeling well again, but you cannot expect your body to obey a fixed plan dictated by your strong will. Your determination will help you to reach your goal, but right now, it needs to take a step back, and it needs to go hand in hand with your body. Now, an important factor that can greatly weigh on us and that can actually demand a lot of our energy, even if it has taken place a long time ago, is a past traumatic experience. Apart from the experiences that are obviously traumatic to us, let us not forget situations that have brought us a great load of worry or pain, like surgeries we have undergone or illnesses that we have gone through. Now that you are physically and mentally tired, it's as if the effects of that traumatic experience come suddenly to the surface, and even if you are not consciously thinking about it, the body keeps the score. Some symptoms like lack of energy might intensify and might take longer to disappear. So, please allow me to give you an advice. Try to use this journey out of burnout as an opportunity to deal with all that which has influenced your life throughout the years. It is definitely worth it. Now for some other examples of factors that act as invisible demands on our energy levels and which can complicate the treatment process. Guilt. Guilt about not having listened to our body's demands a bit more. We may blame ourselves for being in a burnout. Other factors to think about are unforgiveness or bitterness, or even expectations. Expectations that we place on our own life or let others place on our life. And let us not forget the expectations that we constantly place on others, because that will also require a lot of our energy and will influence our state of mind. Your relationship to others, be it family or friends, might also be built on a basis of rules, of expectations and musts, instead of on a healthy ground of love, communication and of understanding. Lastly, I don't want to end this post without mentioning one of the greatest demands that we very often take upon ourselves when we are in a burnout situation. Can you guess what it is? Well, it is our worry about what others might think or say about us. You might worry about the fact that your friends or colleagues may think that you are weak, or that your boss may think that you are just running away from work. Well, now is the time to concentrate on yourself. Time to self-care. Time to place yourself in the right place in your life in order to have enough energy again, enough energy to be able to deal with all the other areas of your life again. Such actions of self-care are not egocentric, they are a necessity. If people choose to be ignorant about what a burnout is, that is their choice. You should not carry the burden of their ignorance. They can read about and ask about what a burnout is, and as such, become informed individuals, better friends and more effective colleagues. Most of the times, that worry is just fruit of our imagination anyway, and most people are actually trying to learn how they can be of help. So, to sum it all up, try to put a hold on all that which is felt by your brain, by your body, as too much of a demand. Try to go forward in this journey as light as you can. Be open to work on crucial details of your being, on details which you never had the opportunity to work on before. Use this burnout situation as a school, in order to never fall into the same trap again. I hope this has been of help. In my next video, I will interview a life coach that has dedicated herself into helping women that undergo hysterectomy. Even when a woman does not go into an early menopause, the procedure itself can play a significant role in a woman's psychological well-being. The lack of information and the lack of support around the procedure can constitute a great demand on a woman's life. It can weaken her coping mechanisms and greatly impact her life, both privately and professionally. Hope to see you there. Good talking to you. See you very soon in my next post.